Howdy, folks. I'm everyone's favorite Snowy McSnowhorse,
I'm Amber.
and here's some snowy hay. Or some Reddit. Alright, folks. Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Letting My Husband Move Us Into a Tiny House? I'm a 29-year-old female, and my husband, a 31-year-old male, has been getting into tiny homes for the last few years, watching videos and shows about them, reading about them, helping his friends move into them, the works. I thought it was just a general interest, but it seems like it's gotten to be more. I own our house outright. I bought it a few years ago before meeting my husband with a combination of savings and the inheritance that I got when my grandmother passed. My husband is not on the title. This is important because a week ago, my husband came home with a realtor's info. He was going on about getting rid of all of our stuff, selling the house, buying a tiny house and some land and everything. He said the realtor would be there for an assessment the next day. I immediately stopped him and made it clear that this was not happening. He did not have my permission to sell the house. He was not getting rid of my things. He can do whatever way he wants with his stuff. And I'm not living in a tiny house. I'm sure some people love it, like his friends do, but his friends and wives and their children are all miserable. They have no privacy. They had to get rid of a lot of their sentimental items. The kids are always fighting because they're on top of each other. I refused to do that, and I told him that I refused. He got super mad and said that he was making the best decision for the family and that I would get used to it. I reminded him that I own the house, not him, and he could live in a tiny house if he wanted to. I would be comfortable here. More arguing, and he left to go stay with one of his friends in their tiny little house. Some friends agree that I'm in the right, that tiny home living isn't for everyone, and I would be miserable living like that since I enjoy my space, privacy, and sprawling. Others have said that he can't live his dream without my help. And I'm selfish for not at least giving it a try before shutting it down. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. Like, it's worse because you own the house outright, but even if you jointly owned it, it would still not be a good look for him trying to make unilateral decisions for the family. Like,
Yeah.
who says that, like, he is the absolute authority and knows what's best for
Yeah,
everyone?
well, he seems to think like he has this idea that you're going to just do what he says and you're going to get used to it.
Yeah, it's like you're just props in his little fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really concerning to me that he doesn't see you as an equal partner.
No, no.
Because sometimes people's dreams do clash, but he's
Yeah.
just like, this is my dream, and you and the kids are just going to be little props in my tiny house fantasy.
Like, and OP has even given him the option of being like, oh, yeah, if you want to go live in a tiny home, go live in a tiny little home, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing stopping him from going and pursuing that. Like, he could live in a little tiny shack in the backyard if he wanted to, you know?
Yeah, and so if he doesn't have the financial resources, he can get them himself. He
Oh, yeah.
can't just like expect to take OP's assets to live his dream, because that's what I'm
Exactly.
guessing the friends mean. It's just such a twisted thing. Oh well, you'll just have to try it. Like, this isn't like trying a new food. This is like you'd have to sell your house, downsize all your possessions, and move into a tiny house where you have no privacy,
Yeah, yeah.
only to learn you don't like it. And then what do you do?
Yeah, well, that's just it. Is it's like it's such an absurd type of situation. Anyhow, take care and good luck. And Fenris Wolf says he left the house to go stay with his friends. Where? Do tiny houses have tiny guest rooms? I added the tiny bit there. Not the jerk. Maybe suggest that he get the tiny house and some property for it, and you use it for weekend getaways or something.
Yeah, I was wondering about the staying with a friend thing. It's like,
Yeah, where are you staying with these friends?
does he have friends who don't have tiny houses he went to stay with, or is he cramming himself into this already crammed house?
Yeah. Well, I imagine like maybe he's living underneath their tiny little house in their little tiny crawl space.
Sleeping in the bathtub.
Maybe he's sleeping in like a little tiny a little guest house for the house, so it's an even tinier guest house. It's like nesting dolls, right? And then his little tiny house has an even smaller guest house. And Rodney Copperbottom says, or he can sample the lifestyle by putting a garden shed in the backyard and living there full time. That should settle his hash. And Empty Masterpiece 242 says the husband can literally be in the doghouse as well as metaphorically. Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Girlfriend That She Can't Speak Japanese to My Parents During Thanksgiving? I'm a 35-year-old male, and I met my girlfriend, a 30-year-old female, at work. We're both interpreters. We've been together for a few months, and Thanksgiving will be the first time that she's going to go meet my parents. I'm half Japanese, my dad is Japanese, and my mother is American. My mother learned Japanese so she can connect with my parental side of the family. Me and my siblings all speak Japanese, however, none of my sibling spouses do. My girlfriend Sasha started learning Japanese before it got popular. She started learning it when she was 14, has both an BA and an MA in Japanese and translation and interpreting. She sounds as close to a native speaker as possible. However, I wanted her to know that she shouldn't try to speak Japanese when meeting my parents or grandparents, and that she's forbidden from using it even when I'm using it with my siblings. She asked me why, and I told her that I would hate for my sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws to be uncomfortable because they don't speak it, and I don't want her to become my grandparents/parents' favorite because we've only been together for a few months, and it wouldn't be fair if they liked her more than my sister-in-law of 10 years who doesn't speak Japanese. She said that's ridiculous and she shouldn't have to hide it. I said that perhaps later, when we've been together for longer, she asked if she had to pretend not to understand me and my siblings as we talk, and I said exactly. She got really weird and went home. She's been kind of distant lately, and I told a friend about this, and they said that I was a major jerk. And if they asked about her job, she would have to lie about that as well. I admit, I hadn't thought of that, but I can't see what I did was wrong. So, am I the jerk for demanding that she lies? Yes, a relationship built on lies. That's surely going to make your parents not resent her in the future.
Well, that's the thing is like, what do you think would happen if like she lies and then like, a few years down the road, it's like, oh, by the way, I could speak this language the whole time. Everyone's
Oh,
gonna feel betrayed.
I have a solution. Okay. I have a solution to that. I agree. Like people would feel betrayed. But have you ever heard of those people who've gotten like hit on the head and then suddenly miraculously speak a language perfectly or something like that?
You know.
OP, all you have to do is
No,
arrange some
this is
kind of
no,
head trauma for
no,
her and
no,
you'll be set.
no. This is bad advice. Do not listen. Like people would feel very like hurt and upset if they thought someone was like spying on them for years. And like,
Yeah,
why does it matter if the parents like her better? Like, why are you
exactly.
so concerned about them liking your sister-in-law best? Like, this is your own partner. You
Yeah.
should want your parents to like your
Well, I
partner.
think he doesn't want them to
Like
like
show
her.
favoritism,
No,
but
no, I mean, like, if the relationship doesn't work
mm,
out, then he's going to be constantly guilted by his parents about not getting together with the girl who spoke Japanese. We liked her so much and
well,
stuff like that.
that's his problem.
That is his problem. That's his problem. He doesn't need to make her lie about that. I'm just saying that I think that's where he's coming from. He's like, I don't want to have the guilt of my
Well,
parents.
then don't introduce her yet. Like, if
Yeah.
you're not sure on this, you can wait, but like,
Yeah.
you can't make her lie.
Mm-hmm.
And it does feel like he doesn't really value the relationship. And it also feels like if any of the in laws wanted to learn Japanese, they could have. So,
Yeah.
like, that's on them.
Yeah. Head trauma OP.
No.
And Eliarius says, You're the jerk. It will make an impact on her relationship with your family in the future. How are they going to react when they find out this entire time that she's been able to communicate with them? And Danik89 says, Right. So you've been eavesdropping on our conversations this entire time and didn't say anything. Very clearly, you're the jerk. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. Since I'm recording this morning, I recorded this last night, but now I'm recording it this morning and I have coffee, but I had tea last night, so I'll say, let you guess the tea from last night.
What did Cinderella say when her photographs didn't arrive on time?
She said, and I quote, Guards, retrieve my photographs. Cinderella, as you know, became a brutal dictator after the happily ever after the curtain fell, and that's what is going on here. So Cinderella is not a very nice princess. Well, it's not a very nice queen. She was a great princess, by the way. Not so great of a queen. Brutal dictator, horrible to her serfs, terrible. And she hunts down anyone who makes her prince late.
Someday my prince will come. Well, you kind of gave it away in the last bit.
Oh,
Yeah, you're like, she hunts down anyone who something something prince.
oh. I guess so. And I had mega mint last night, but I have coffee this morning. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As you can see, I've changed the November live stream to be on Monday. I have a day off that day, so I will try it at 6 o'clock p.m. unless people hunt me down and tell me no. So we'll try it, and if you show up, you show up. If not, then not, right? So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.